Well, that was fun. What have we got going on here? This is the Behringer R2600, and in this patch, we are only using a single patch cord because of all the normaled patching in the system. So let's talk about the setup that we have. We're listening to only a single oscillator, the sawtooth of VCO3, and we have the filter set up to center. We've got a modulation coming from the ADSR, and by the way, we've got that same modulation going into VCO3 and VCO2. We've got VCO2 modulating the filter frequency with a sine wave, and we've also got VCO2 modulating the frequency of the VCO3, and that's at full level, and that's at a high level for the VCO2 modulation into the filter. Another critical setting here is this sample and hold, and we're modulating VCO2, which is often in a low frequency mode, to change the pitch every time the sample and hold clock triggers. So let's listen to that for just a second. So we're getting a kind of a random change of frequency with each clock. All of these connections are normal so that we are using the internal clock for the sample and hold, and we're using noise as a source for the signal that's being sampled. The level is all the way up here, it's all the way up here, and the color is set to low frequency because we're really interested in just a slow changing voltage level that's going to change the pitch of the VCO2 with each trigger of the clock. The only other thing to point out is this control. We're taking from the voltage processor, minus 10 volts, it gets inverted going out of the mixer, and so we've got from 0 to 10 volts going into the frequency of VCO3, which of course is the one that we're listening to, and that allows us to get some pitch modulation manually by moving this around, for instance. So that's pretty much the patch. Of course, we're using the ADSR with a slow-ish attack and a slowish release, and the AR envelope with a slowish attack and an even slower release. The AR, of course, is going to the VCA, and the ADSR, as I pointed out earlier, going to these three modulation points. And that's the patch, and it's a bit like R2D2. It's not exactly the same. One other thing to note is that the articulation for the R2D2 patch was done by taking a microphone, putting it into the preamp, and taking the envelope follower output and using that to do some modulation, and then they were just speaking into the microphone for the R2D2. Of course, the results are that classic robot sound. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.